What's one myth about smart buildings you wish we'd finally move past?
I think one myth that people need to move past is that it's still an add-on. With different regulations, different needs, being competitive in this market, I think it's becoming a necessity that you have tools that can maximize the value that you can get out of the data that your buildings have.
People always talk about technology being hard. I really don't think that's the case. I think the technology is actually pretty easy, but influencing the people to engage with the technology is way harder. So your time should be spent convincing people that this is something they need to do, influencing the people that make changes, convincing people that this technology isn't something to be scared of, actually just enables people to do a better job. So when I look at the technology stacks here, for me it's all enriching existing processes with data, not replacing them. Yeah. And so what's the most important thing people can do when they start talking about building technology is, how do I have an effective way to turn this into a process someone can deliver on every day? Yeah. And software is not going to solve that. Software is just an enabler for that. So you can't ignore the people. And really, change management is the key for any of these software solutions to be successful.
I would say that technology is complicated. I think we're at a point where it's very simple, it's very easy. It's just kind of getting out of that, it's change, right? You know, no one likes change, but everyone has made it easy. There's great people here, from solution providers to service, that can help bring that all together.
You know, I think a myth that I see from my perspective is the one size fits all, or we have a solution that can address all of our owners' needs. This approach where one, we are signing up to do a lot more than we might be able to achieve, and the reality is that we are probably not very good at a lot of things, and we're probably very good at a few things. And so one myth of, you know, we want to bring in one firm or one solution to handle a lot of our complex needs is probably more biting off more than we can chew.
Okay, well, I'll take that from two sides. One myth is that building owners hate technology or they don't want to deal with technology. That is a transitioning myth, right? We can move away from that. But the flip side is we don't know which technology we need. We haven't yet, as an owner, we haven't yet identified our problem. So then we just sort of shoot in the dark for what our solution is. So the myth is that you can just buy things off the shelf, even though you don't even know what your problem is.
For us, it is that deploying sensors is difficult and expensive. It is actually very easy. It can take a couple of minutes, and the time to data is really fast, and the time to get value is really fast. I think a secondary part to that is the fear of data, where people are scared that if I know something bad about my building, if I know something bad about the air inside my building, I'm going to be liable for some big issue that I'm exposing people to a particular issue. And we've just seen that the ostrich mentality just doesn't work. It doesn't help if you just put your head in the ground. The issue still exists, and consumers are more and more getting their own sensors, bringing them into office spaces, and those buildings that just don't have the answer based on someone bringing some data to them are kind of caught with their pants down, and that I'd like the industry to sort of stop thinking that way and say, well, we don't want to know, it's too scary, let's just move beyond it.